We're on the march of the 78th Independence Day, and it's always a day to celebrate, I must tell you, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to yet another live show. We are back after a long time. Welcome to the show, Rohan. As you all can see, before as well, you must have seen Rohan and me speaking about a lot of cricketing things. This time it's a special topic. I welcome you, Rohan. Rohan, it's a special topic we're going to discuss about. I want to bring it in front of you before you start proceedings. India's 78th Independence Day, special moment. We're going to speak about some of the unsung heroes. And before that, how does it feel? 78th Independence Day. This time we can say in the last 1 year, India has been world champions.
Yeah, that gives a special ring to it, isn't it, Pritham? I mean, Independence Day is always special for every Indian. We look forward to it because all the struggles that our old ancestors and older generation, they sacrificed a lot to get to this position, and the fruits of it we need to show in all aspects of life. And sport is a place where you can showcase your talent to the world stage. I mean, in a broader sense,
Yep.
because your achievements, everything speaks for the progress the country has achieved. And cricket being a pretty popular game when India does it, and of course being an English game that it was, when you beat them there or you conquer that game, I think that gives a special high to every
Exactly.
Indian there. And especially that World Cup win in '83 in Lords at the balcony, seeing Kapil Paji raise that World Cup, I think that kind of inspired generational talents throughout. So Independence Day and everything associated throughout Indian cricket is always special for everyone. And unsung heroes, I think there have been countless heroes for all of us, but some of the unsung ones that we'll be discussing, I think they also need a special mention, and I'm pretty sure that we'll be covering in this show.
Absolutely. There is a lot to cover about. There's a lot of players to be discussed about, but I've chosen a very few, five of them. And Rohan, I'll start proceedings with the first, which is none other than Yuvraj Singh, our all-rounder, which I think it's missing and never going to be irreplaceable, to be honest. But his numbers speak a lot of things out here. We spoke about a couple of things here. 2007 World Cup, 2011 World Cup, six matches, Rohan, in 2007 World Cup at South Africa, 148 runs, strike rate of 194 with 12 sixes under his belt. We'll talk about this one first before we move on to 2011. How massive contribution do you think Yuvraj Singh had, apart from that six sixes to Stuart Broad?
Massive, because that time the concept of T20 cricket was very new, and we do know before that the senior players like Sachin, Rahul, Ganguly all had opted out, citing it's more for the younger talents. And for someone like a Yuvraj Singh to lead that inspirational journey for us when nobody gave it a dime for the Indian cricket team, and with all the a bunch of youngsters, the win there catapulted by this player of the series performance
Yeah,
from Yuvraj Singh, I think that set the tone for the IPL. And whatever fruits we are seeing now, I think Yuvraj Singh's what do you call that performance is what I think is giving us the whatever we are seeing current day and age. It's, I think, a huge shout out to someone like Yuvraj Singh. Coming to that World Cup again, South African pitches have that pace and bounce early on, and it's not easy for subcontinent players to get in, especially in T20 when there is no time to get set at all. I think he came out and absolutely blazed away. As you said, that six sixes to Stuart Broad was a complete uh, kind of a memorable thing. But the following knock at Durban against Australia, I think that's also a very equally important game,
yeah,
because Australia, any World Cup, you need to beat Australia to be champions, man. Beat at
exactly.
any stage, let's be honest. But that game was a really killer kind of a Yuvraj Singh beast mode that we saw. I think that was something sensational for all of us throughout the World Cup. I think he was one of the star pin-up boys throughout Indian cricket in the 2007 World Cup, T20 World Cup.
You said about the killer moment, and he was the killer in the 2007 World Cup. Was he at his prime in the 2011 World Cup, bro?
Uh, Physically may not be, but in his skill wise, definitely. Yeah, we all know what was happening in his health issue that time.
Yeah,
But I think uh, just a tour prior, I think we were in South Africa, and he was not quite getting into that runs free flowing Yuvraj Singh. But I think everybody knew that World Cup 2011 had to be one for that one special man that we are
yeah.
calling him the god of cricket. I think even UV wanted to dedicate that tournament throughout and do something special for him, even though physically he was not 100%. But you're showing the runs here, but as you can see also in the bottom half, the wickets that he took as a fifth bowler for India, I think that also was equally important throughout the World Cup. I mean, we do see
Absolutely. 15 wickets. And I think as an all rounder, that speaks volumes.
you because India has, even now we don't have that quality all rounders. We are depending upon just one or two players here and there and not
We do
completely fit.
have.
But
We had Rinku Singh and Surya Kumar Yadav winning us the game.
the new breed, you can say. But due respect, I think Yuvraj Singh's impact on these pitches as a fifth bowler, when we know sometimes dew comes in, it's not easy to be a finger spinner. For him to have that control and even pick up wickets at vital moments, we saw Pfeiffer against Ireland there, few odd wickets against Pakistan. He picked up, I think, a very key wicket of Asad Shafiq, but Yunus Khan as well. But the final, I think, when he got Sangakkara, I think that was a very
Yeah.
vital moment because Mail as Sangha, always we know it's a very threatening partnership. He got a very important breakthrough there that kind of gave an opening for India to kind of push the petalon and keep the run rate down, which helped in the second innings for us. But Yuvraj Singh, I think, very undermined because of whatever happened or didn't happen because of the potential that he has. I mean, we all know when he first came in the Champions Trophy 2000, the poster boy that he was, the free flowing, high backlift, the graceful swing, the art to hit those sixes. I think everybody expected big things from him. The thing is, maybe in Test cricket, he didn't quite deliver to his potential. That's where the
Yeah.
image kind of builds. But these two tournaments, as much as India won it as a team effort, Yuvraj Singh's name has to be right up there for me, as a bowler, as a batter, just the impact. Being a senior player, he delivered when it mattered the most at killer moments and important games. We saw in that game again, Australia quarterfinal match at Ahmedabad, when wickets were lost. He and I think Raina got a very good partnership in the end.
Yeah.
Beautiful finish and that celebration at the end. I think again it was a very highlight moment throughout that World Cup. I think Yuvraj Singh, for whatever he has done, I think kudos to him for all his achievements, man.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Kudos to him. And you said about Australia, defeating Australia makes it even more sweeter. And those two knocks you spoke about, like in 2007 after England won, you had to face Australia in the quarterfinal. It was Australia. There was so handy knocks. And we speak about Hardik Pandya now as a clutch player. Used to speak about Yuvraj Singh as well. And there you go. There is one more pointed out here. He's a tremendous
Oh,
fielder. What a fielder he was at backward
anywhere,
point, to
not
be
just at
honest.
backward point, I'd say. I think anywhere you put Yuvraj Singh, he was a gun fielder. Man. I think similar to what the Ravindra Jadeja we see now, but Yuvraj at his prime was fantastic. He used to fly through the air and pluck catches out of nowhere, man.
Okay, but there is a question. There is a tricky question for you, all the way coming from Cricket Circle. So that can we be lucky enough to find another fighter? Very good mention, fighter and a superstar like Yuvraj Singh in the Indian team. A little bit of Ravindra Jadeja could be on the cards.
See, fighter in the sense on field, under the circumstances, yeah, maybe, but off field, for whatever he has been through, I think that kind of fighter is difficult to find because you need a different kind of a mindset to get over it, the kind of effort you put in to get fit, and then even come back and deliver. I remember he came back, got a 150 odd against England. So that kind of shows that Yuvraj Singh, he amount of effort he put in to get back to his old self. It's not easy
Yep.
from coming out of cancer. So I think that's a different kind of fight that people may not easy to comprehend what it was. So Yuvraj Singh, the fighter, I think is one of a kind in his own, man.
When we talk about sort of Ganguly's jersey celebration, I think this partnership speaks a lot of volumes. Yuvraj Singh and Mohammad Kaif, they covering 50% of the ground like those days. Absolutely, they both were terrific fielders, and that's the reason why Kaif is also a fielding coach of some of the IPL franchises as well. But talk us through about the next player. When we speak about Gabbar, this is the player we talk about. A fantastic batsman he was at the top of the order. Very unlucky not to get any more opportunities. Now players like Gill, Gaikwad have come up. I think that his time is done. But talk us through his prime moments. 2013 Champions Trophy. We all speak about Rohit Sharma was promoted as the opener, but this person was tremendous throughout the entire tournament. 363 runs throughout the entire tournament. 150 14 best at that time. 9500 strike rate was good enough. 200s, one half century, good enough to have the numbers, the stats speak everything. On the other hand, 2015, that knock against South Africa at MCG, that also phenomenal. Talk us through Shikhar Dhawan for you.
Gabbar for us. I mean, the celebration itself is a huge thing for all of us when Shikhar Dhawan says the thigh fi, the twirl of the mosh. I think Gabbar is one of a kind. The Mr. ICC tournament for India. I think whenever ICC tournament comes, I think he has delivered always throughout, be it any conditions. I think that's what makes him the player he is. He's not just a home track bully or anything, but anywhere you put him abroad as well on tricky conditions. I think he has always delivered his best for India. And uh, match winning runs, match winning knocks as well. So CT, I think, along with Rohit, he formed a very good partnership throughout. I think gave us a
Exactly.
very fantastic stats, couple of hundreds, I think, against South Africa on a very tricky pitch at Cardiff. Followed it up with a fantastic 100 against West Indies at the Oval, where it's always a bit of extra bounces there. And all this, it was when he was trying to stabilize himself at the top of the order for Team India after a comeback that he made. So I think that partnership with Rohit and Shikhar, I think that took Indian cricket to a long extent. It benefited. Maybe the Rohit's double turns, etc., pushed him up in the spotlight. But Shikhar's contribution
Yeah.
could never be devalued, I feel, in even his fielding for that matter. But coming to the 2015 match against South Africa, I think we need to see who the opposition bowler was. Dale Steyn, Amon Mokal, Vernon Philander, all these guys at MCG in the
Yeah.
morning. It does a bit. I think if you remember that game, it was a very slow start for India, but India cashed in at the
Exactly.
middle stages and the back half, along with even Ajinkya Rahane was a pretty good partnership that he had. But to beat South Africa, because just before that World Cup, I think India spent about 2.5 months in Australia already. So it was a long tour, and followed by another 2 months of the World Cup. It drains you out mentally as a player to be away from home and all those things. But to come back against a top team like South Africa at MCG to beat them, I think that kind of gave a different confidence and the momentum for India to carry on in the 2015 World Cup and deliver their
Yeah.
best, I felt. And again, he and Rohit set that platform throughout the World Cup and made things easier for your middle order coming. And we know Australia early
Absolutely.
wicket means it's a dent to your run, whatever scoring that you are expecting. So I think Gabbar Dhawan's throughout match winning knocks again. Hats off to him, man.
Absolutely. We always used love to left and right in combination, and these two were at their prime with the times when they always used to play for us. And there you go. There's a comment out here. It would have been a treat to watch Shikhar and Rohit opening in Test cricket for Team India. Yes, even I felt so. He still could have improved a little bit in the red ball format, but never mind. We have so many match winners now. But moving on to one brilliant fielder to the other, Suresh Rana, what a player he was. A couple of games you were speaking during the Yuvraj Singh time about the Australia quarterfinal in 2011. Talk us through this underrated knock, 34 not out of 28 by Suresh Rana in the middle order to help India move on to the semi-finals and face Pakistan.
I mean, Preetham, when you think of Suresh Raina, yes, this knock is there, but he's the first guy has to see run into the bowler and celebrate a wicket. I think that's the enthusiasm he brought into the team, the liveliness, the vibrant that he was. Excellent fielder, as you mentioned, just formed a complete ring. He, KF, Yuvraj, all those youngsters, the energy they brought into a team. I think that's what made Indian cricket what it is now. I think we are reaping the benefits of all these guys. But this knock, again, Australia, as we saw under pressure. I think we lost 4 5 wickets. I think there was a run out of Gauti too. So I think, and I think we lost MS after that shortly. I think
Yeah,
India was under pressure because at home it's not easy to be expectant to win, and when you're under pressure the crowd goes silent and all those things. But again, he had the man of the tournament at the other end in Yuvraj Singh. I think they kind of calmed it down easily, because if you remember the start of this 2011 World Cup, it was Yusuf Pathan who was preferred, and he played the initial
yeah,
games. Only
correct.
I think the last league game against the West Indies, Raina came in, and the quarterfinal was his immediate next match. So again, without much lead up to the game, to deliver a match-winning partnership with someone like Yuvraj against a quality
Correct.
team like Australia, under pressure, chasing 260 odd, because I think that was at Ahmedabad. Red soil pitch offers
Yep,
always a little bit
exactly.
of help to the bowlers. I think they had someone like Kreza, Mitchell Johnson,
They
Sean
had
Tate,
Kreza,
all
they
these
had
guys.
David Hussey,
David
Sean
Hussey
Tate, Brett
also.
Lee, everybody
Yeah,
was there.
everyone. It's a gun bowling attack for any kind of a pitchman. So there on those pitches and that condition under pressure to score these runs. I remember hit over long on for six. I think the celebrations there along with Yuvraj, jumping up to get on UV's chest and celebrate there. I think that kind of is what you saw Suresh Raina. Maybe not those huge knocks or anything, but those 30, 40s, and 50s impactful knock to kind of finish off the games. I think that's what Suresh Raina brought to this Indian cricket. Of course, as you said, the fielding and the catching and the enthusiasm to go with
Absolutely.
it. I think that overall package, Suresh Raina was just beautiful to watch, man.
Absolutely, beautiful to watch. Even the knock in the 2015 World Cup at New Zealand against South Africa,
Yeah.
I always find this very underrated because Zimbabwe got India four down, and then Dhoni and Raina came together, got us into a comfortable position, and eventually we chased it down. But this knock of 110 also goes unnoticed. That's the reason why terrific fielder, as we always say. And that's the reason why Cricket Circle says that Suresh was the key
Yes,
player in the
Pakistan.
2011 World Cup against Australia and Pakistan. Back-to-back match-winning partnerships. Absolutely correct, and that's what we were speaking about as well. Moving on to player number 4, and very, very famous, legendary Yashpal Sharma. I always used to listen from my dad when I used to hear stories about the 1983 World Cup, and then it started off with you as well. Such an underrated player. 8 matches, 240 runs. He played so many handy knocks in the middle order. Talk us through a little bit of what his contributions was there in the 1983 World Cup.
And in 83, again, it's associated with someone like Kapil Paji's that 175 fabulous knock. That's a complete standout moment again. But Yashpal Sharma, the start of the World Cup, the first match, India played West Indies at Old Trafford. He scored a 80 odd knock. That was at that time the highest score for an Indian in ODI cricket. And he got a 80 odd against West Indies. That kind of gave us a 250, 260 kind of a total, which he ended up defending. So to give that belief that we could beat the two-time world champions at a World Cup, because before that, I think we all know India had won one match in the World Cup,
Mhm.
that two against a team of I don't know, mix of
There's
South
no more there.
whatever. As they said, a bunch of gujus put together and whatnot. East Africa, there's no country like that, man. Let's be honest. We beat them, and suddenly to beat a team like West Indies, can you imagine what could have happened to the Indian public at that time that we beat West Indies? Again, that's another unfortunate thing is that match wasn't covered for whatever reasons
Correct.
we do know now. But Yashpal Sharma's impactful knock again throughout the World Cup, 30s, 40s. We remember his wonderful knock in the semi-finals against England at Old Trafford again. I think he hit that swivel kind of a six of Bob Willis over square leg.
Yeah.
Wonderful kind of a shot. I think those days never seen such kind of innovative shot making. But Yashpal's main thing was when India was in crisis, he was the man for your to get you out of trouble and get you into a safer position. I think he was always called the crisis man of Indian cricket at that time, be it in ODIs, in Test cricket, everything. All the big names like a Gavaskar or a Vengsarkar or a Kapil Dev used to walk away with the laurels, but Yashpal's contributions with these guys always used to be the second best kind of a thing. But as you say, we are discussing undervalued. But Yashpal Sharma throughout, I think, is a standout player, and his thing was he used to come up with these one-liners, kind of ease the mood within the dressing room
Yeah.
under pressure. I think that's kind of the personality that he was. I mean, stats may be one thing, records may be one thing, but the human being that he was, I think that's what made him very likable. I think he went on to serve Indian cricket as a selector, etc. All those
Yeah.
because of his nature of the man he was. Yes, unfortunately, he's not with us anymore. But all those contributions, I think that's what makes the person that he was. So Yashpal Sharma again. Kudos to him, man. Fabulous. And I think we should be blessed that we have someone like those people who kind of are always kind of the background actors, but
Correct.
it's their contributions that's what makes the overall
Always push
final
the
effort.
team forward.
Yes, exactly.
Absolutely, absolutely. And the way it's a Yashpal's opening match at the
Yes.
World Cup '83 against the mighty West Indies paved the way for Team India. Absolutely correct. That's exactly what Rohan said. What a legend he was. And going to the final player we have selected, who can forget this man, legendary Zahir Khan, swing bowling masterclass. Talk us through these two pictures you can see. I am sure you can locate it very much. 2007 versus England, the Test series. What's your take on this one?
2007 again, it was whatever happened in the 50 over World Cup, the debacle. I think Indian cricket at that time needed something to again get back on its feet. I felt so the 2007 tour of England, because we hadn't won there for the last 20 odd years, and under the captaincy of Rahul Dravid, we finally did manage. And that one victory was at Trent Bridge. I think people may remember the jelly bean incident where KP kind of wanted to instigate Zahir Khan. I think he kind of rubbed in the wrong way is what I felt. With that new ball, I think a sensational spell to pick up a fifer, and I think he bowled out England very cheaply in the first innings, and then wonderful
Yep.
knocks. I think we got a good lead, and then just capitalized in the second innings to win that Test match. I think Zahir in English conditions, I think he had just had a spell at Worcestershire before that. I think because of that, we saw the amount of skill and control, though the pace had slightly dropped off, but the amount of control he had, especially to left-hander, someone like Graham Smith may give you a good watch for that. The
Yep.
threatened that he had with someone like Zahir Khan, especially to left-handers, and then coming out with the reverse swing that he had mastered even in some subcontinental conditions. But this series, the complete credit to winning that series in England. Yeah, the batters scored the runs, but as we all know, bowlers pick you wickets and win your Test matches, and Zahir's contribution in that series was phenomenal.
Absolutely.
Coming to the 2011 World Cup, I think we all go gaga because he picked up about 20 or 21 wickets, I think, as you're showing. But
21 wickets. Yeah.
just to go 8 years before that, the 2003 World Cup, the first initial spell that Zahir bowled, I think that's where the momentum was lost against Australia. India had won the toss at Wanderers. There was rain around, moist pitch. We let go of the control because he sprayed it all over. I think that kind of
Yeah.
ghost that would have been in his mind on the morning of the 2011 World Cup, because this was at home, at Mumbai, at Wankhede, where early on there is something
Yeah.
to offer. And that showed the experience he had, that bad experience. I think he brought it all together, especially that first spell. I think he got Taranga out, but I think he could have easily
He
had
got
two, three
Taranga
wickets
well.
more.
Viru took a fantastic catch in the first
Fantastic
day.
catch. Yeah, but I think in that spell he looked like he could pick two, three wickets more and
Yeah.
completely finish off the final at in the first spell itself. But throughout that World Cup, I remember he balled that knuckleball. I think he had just
He
kind of
got a probably
invented it.
Kedra.
Yeah,
Was it Kapu Kedra who got out in that knuckleball, if I'm not
I
mistaken?
think yeah, Kapugedra, that was in the final, but in the tournament itself, I think it got Collingwood, Michael Hussey throughout
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
big wickets at the key moments again. I think that kind of was something new to watch. The knuckleball at that time, you could show that he had worked a lot before the World Cup to master it, and on the big stage to deliver it consistently and pick up wickets, prized wickets. I think that showed the kind of skill set that he has. And after that, also we saw, I know, I think he was called like Idea Baba or something within that dressing room because of these kind of skill sets that he had. So that shows that you have the knowledge of what to ball, when to ball in these conditions. I think Zahir's contribution again, along with Yuvraj Singh or a Raina or a Gambhir or even MS at that matter, Zahir Khan's again that performance, that kind of really set the tone to start the World
Correct.
Cup. And of course, in the end, Gambhir and Dhoni kind of finished it off in style, as Ravi Shastri used to say.
So nicely you said about both the players. It's not Gambhir, it's not Dhoni, it's both Gambhir and Dhoni. So I'll keep it up
Yeah.
to here. So the other five players that are done, but special mention to a few of the players. Rohan, here are the legends I have added out here, including the women's, because they have been phenomenal as well. Recently made it to the Asia Cup finals against Sri Lanka, came runners up, but they have been top as well. Credit to them, but a little bit of legends as well. If you want to pick one of these and pick and choose, we all know four of them are there, but if you had to choose one of them,
Difficult, man. I think there are many more. I think, but Anshuman Gaikwad recently passed away. I think the kind of grit that guy brought to Indian opening batting that time against someone
yeah,
like the West Indies foursome, threatening foursome that nobody wants to remember. Also, I remember that now. I think it's quite open in the papers and the media now, where at Jamaica, where they were bowling beamers throughout, and there was no limit to the bouncers at those days. Every second ball or first ball was a beamer from Michael Holding and company, whoever was there, and he got hit in the ear, and that kind of damaged his ear for life. But throughout them, that grit he showed, there's blood on him, but still he carried on. I remember there was a double hundred he scored against Pakistan, one of the slowest double hundreds, by the way, in Jalandhar. But the grit, along with Gavaskar, that he brought into the team, I think these kind of characters go unnoticed because in those days for India winning was completely out of the question. It was if we could draw a game, save a game, I think that was as good as a victory. And these guys were so solid with the techniques and the heart they put in there. I think those kind of built India into slowly a better
Yeah,
team. And coming years, all people who came on from there, he served India as a coach as well in the mid 90s as well. I think all those contributions are very important. You said about the women's team. I think from where they started and to now, where we were equally
yeah,
challenging teams like Australia, England, New
correct,
Zealand. Because earlier days
absolutely.
there was just maybe a one odd batter whom the opposition would maybe fear. But now we get these youngsters who could bash you in straight away first ball. Guys, I mean, player like Richa
Yeah,
Ghosh. All these are exciting talent.
yeah,
The other one, the young one who came in, Arundhati Reddy. All these ones, very raw talents which can be polished to become better. We always speak about a Mitali Raj or Harman or a
yeah.
previous years, a Shantarangaswamy
Smriti
and
Mandana.
legends,
Yeah,
Smriti Mandana or Diana Idolji. We had all these people, but the women's game has grown tenfold now. Of course, the WPL has helped. I think the
yeah,
exposure to the overseas leagues, all these things. I think Indian cricket, especially the women's cricket, has grown, and I see more potential to grow with more people from the smaller states coming in through. I think the other names that you mentioned, the Dilip Doshi, Brijesh Patel, Rod Jabini, I think the highest wicket taker in the '83 World Cup. All these, I think,
yeah.
many more. I think we may not have enough time to speak, but all of them, every small little contributions they have made, I think that's what made India a proud nation for till now. We're celebrating Independence Day. I think all these are heroes for us, man. There's no
Absolutely.
small, no one, no fan clubs or anything to counter us or anything, because all these are part and we are their fans for life, man. That's it.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Ron. You explained it so well. Thank you to all the viewers for watching this video and the live session. Don't forget, if you still haven't, don't forget to subscribe to the Fifth Umpire and press the bell icon as well. Thank you so much. We'll be back again in another live show. Till then, thank you so much and bye bye.